The Journey to England. Introduction. England is a land known for its rich history, famous writers like Shakespeare, world-class universities, and beautiful countryside. For many people, it represents dreams, opportunities, and new beginnings. This story is about Ollie, a young man who leaves his home to travel to England. It shows his struggles, discoveries, and how the journey changes his life. That it was a cool autumn morning when Ollie zipped up his suitcase and looked around his small room for the last time. He had dreamed of this moment for years, the day he would leave his home country and travel to England. For him, England was more than just a place on the map. It was the land of history, literature, and opportunity. From Shakespeare's plays to the buzzing streets of London, it had always felt like a magical place he wanted to see with his own eyes. Ollie's parents stood at the door, watching him. They were proud, but also worried. His mother adjusted his scarf and whispered, "Remember, no matter how far you go, your home will always be here." His father gave him a firm handshake, hiding the emotions in his heart. The flight was long, but Ollie could hardly sleep. His mind was filled with images of Big Ben, the River Thames, and the rolling green countryside he had seen in pictures. When the plane finally touched down at Heathrow Airport, he felt both nervous and excited. He stepped outside into the crisp London air, noticing how different it smelled, fresh, cool, and a little damp with the autumn rain. Ollie's first days in England were overwhelming. The city of London was alive with movement. Double-decker buses roared past, people hurried to work in stylish coats, and street performers entertained tourists near Covent Garden. The mix of old and new amazed him. He could see centuries-old buildings standing proudly next to modern glass towers. One day, he visited the British Museum. Standing before the Rosetta Stone and the ancient Egyptian statues, he realized how England had collected pieces of the world's history. It made him think about the vastness of human civilization and his small place within it. Later, walking along the Thames, he admired the London Eye glowing against the evening sky. But life in England wasn't just sightseeing. Ollie had come to study. His university was in a quiet town outside London, surrounded by green fields and old stone buildings. The classrooms were large, filled with students from all over the world. At first, Ollie struggled with the fast English accents, but slowly he learned to listen carefully, catching the rhythm of their words. His professors encouraged questions, something Ollie wasn't used to. Back home, students usually listened silently, but here he was expected to speak, to debate, and to share his thoughts. At first, his voice shook whenever he raised his hand, but soon he found confidence. The more he spoke, the more he realized he had valuable ideas to share. Outside of class, Ollie made friends. There was Sarah from Manchester, who loved football, and Tom from London, who always carried a guitar. They introduced him to English traditions, drinking tea in the afternoon, enjoying fish and chips by the seaside, and watching fireworks on bonfire night. They also explained the jokes he didn't always understand. On weekends, Ollie explored more of England. He visited Oxford, where the ancient colleges looked like something from a fairy tale. He took a train to the countryside, where sheep grazed on rolling hills and tiny villages had stone cottages with flower gardens. Once, he even traveled to Stratford-upon-Avon, the birthplace of Shakespeare, and watched a play in the town's theater. But not every moment was easy. There were days when Ollie felt lonely. The weather was often gray and rainy, so different from the sunshine of his home country. Sometimes he missed the smell of his mother's cooking and the sound of his native language on the streets. Yet, whenever he felt low, he reminded himself why he had come: to grow, to learn, and to build a better future. Months turned into a year, and Ollie felt himself changing. England had taught him independence. He had learned to cook simple meals, to manage his own time, and to speak confidently in a new language. He had discovered the power of diversity, studying alongside people from every continent. He had also learned resilience, how to keep moving forward even when things felt difficult. On his final week before returning home, Ollie stood once again by the River Thames. The lights of the city reflected on the water, and the bells of Big Ben rang in the distance. He thought about the boy who had left home, nervous and unsure, and about the young man he had become. England had not just been a place on a map. It had been a journey of transformation. Ollie smiled. He knew he would return one day. Maybe for work, maybe for travel. But for now, he carried England in his heart as a chapter of his life that had shaped who he was and who he would become. And with that, he whispered a quiet goodbye to London, already dreaming of his next journey.